What a prat. So before we get into the video, well, I tell you what I'm going to do first. I'm going to say hello, fellow humans. Hello, fellow humans. Before we get into the video today, I'm just going to talk you through a few things about Amsterdam and what we did. We have been before, so we didn't cover a lot of things, but I will show you everything that we did, and I'll have a chat with you now about what there is to do, what it's like. So we set off. The flight from the UK is about an hour and 15 minutes, just over an hour. You're only in the air about 45 minutes. The security at Manchester Airport was really good. We flew right through that. The security coming home, Schiphol Airport, was quite long. We were in that security line for an hour and 45 minutes, so do make sure you're there with plenty of time. We were queuing for a long time. Now there was only me and Paul, so it was quite easy, no children to entertain, but there were a lot of children in that line, and there were wheelchairs and things as well, so it didn't seem like there was a lot of accessibility, a different queue you were waiting. When we got to Amsterdam, I showed you the train. That's a really good way. The thing with taxis is that everybody travels around on bike, and there's a one-way system around the centre of Amsterdam, and sometimes it can take you 10 minutes in a taxi, which is only like a 2-minute walk, so it takes a lot longer in a taxi sometimes, and obviously you're going to be paying a little bit more. There are actually rickshaws that you can get in the centre of Amsterdam, so somebody will pull you along on a bike, and if it's raining they have a hood in the back, at the back. You can use them like a taxi service, and they're quite good. And or you can hire your own bike if you're feeling brave. You'll have to be careful on anywhere you're walking, because the bikes come flying through. Obviously locals as well, they're used to the area and they're on a mission, and you have to get out of the way. Everyone's really on bike or on foot in the centre. We saw a few children, but I think it was more local children. My boys are tweens. I don't think I'd bring them. A couple of things, probably because of the coffee shops, and cannabis and mushrooms are illegal in Amsterdam, and there's a red light district, so I don't think I'd bring them. They'd probably be more embarrassed than I would be. Word on the cannabis and red light district: if you're wanting to partake in any recreational substances that are usually associated with Amsterdam, they have coffee shops there. Coffee shops and cafes, you can usually tell the difference anyway. The coffee shops have ashtrays on their tables, and you can usually tell with the smell. So if that's something you're interested in, the staff are usually really helpful. They're so used to tourists. The red light district, if I was going to say about that, is very touristy as well. It gets very busy. Fridays and Saturdays very busy. We actually did a tour and had some of the history about that area. Found out a little bit about the girls. They also have 2 museums in that area, so if you wanted to go into any more depth after you've had a walk down there, that might be a good shout. This time we did the Mokko Museum, which is an art museum. It was more contemporary art. They also have the Rijksmuseum. Just off the top of my head, do they have a Van Gogh museum?
Yeah.
They have a Bodyworks museum, which is like all the inner body. That's not really art though, is it? A Ripley's Believe It or Not. They have an ice bar in Amsterdam if you fancy taking shots in an ice cave. They have Heineken Museum. The whole place is really arty and really cultural, and while you're walking around you'll see lots of graffiti and street art, as well as the art museums. It feels like somewhere you would go for an adventure. If you're adventurous and you want a bit of an adventure and you want to do like a backpacking holiday but without the backpack, a bit more comfortable, Amsterdam feels that kind of place. Just the perfect place for an adventure. So I'll sign off now and I'll show you what we got up to in Amsterdam. Hello fellow humans! Today I am going to Amsterdam. I thought I'd bring you along. I'll show you a little bit of the hotel and I'll show you a little bit of what we get up to. See you soon. Visiting Amsterdam this time, we flew with KLM. We flew from Terminal 2 at Manchester Airport. There was no wait, really. We got straight through. We checked in. We only had hand luggage and we were through security quite quickly. The seats were nice and comfortable. It was quite a smooth flight, no turbulence. And we got to Amsterdam, I think it was in an hour and 5 minutes, so not very long at all. I think we were only up in the air about 45 minutes.
Went to the airport and you're straight into this big old hub area. You head over here, you can get onto the train. You walk over, you can get your train tickets here, and then you go down the escalators to the right platform. See, that's platform 1 and 2, and just further at the back is 3 and 4. First class on the train. First class was €17 for 2 of us. You can go second class for €11. They're both very nice carriages anyway.
They're every few minutes, aren't they? They're not, you don't have long to wait. And we're going to Amsterdam Central, 1418. So just for reference, we've come down the escalators and there is just this one platform on your right, and it's this one. We're on the train now. It has been a really good flight. It was not bumpy. We have had bumpy ones before. It was really smooth. The security before we got there, we did get stopped for a little bit, and Paul got frisked. But we managed to make our flight. We were a bit peckish and they actually gave us a coconut macaroon on the flight, which was very, very welcome. We were very hungry, and a cup of tea, so that was great. This train journey now will last about 15 minutes, and then we'll take a 10-minute walk over to our hotel. The first class is really, really nice. Paul was feeling bougie. I think we'd have been all right in the normal one really, but it's nice. There's not many people in this bit, hence why I'm talking. And it's sunny as well, and I was expecting it to be raining, so all good so far.
To Amsterdam Central now, and down the stairs. It's a train station here, and if you come out to the front of it and head past the Victoria Hotel there and go right down that street, you end up in Dam Square right in the centre. About 10-minute walk maximum, if that.
Walking from the station to the hotel, lots of cruises you can see there. We actually passed as well the Tony's Chocolonely Cafe. If you've ever had Tony's chocolate in this country. It is delicious. They have it a lot in Amsterdam. And we saw this car coming up from the underground car park and found that very cool. And we stood watching it.
Yeah.
When we got to the hotel, we did nip out just to this burger Zaken place for a quick burger. We were really hungry and we just took it back to the hotel room. This night we actually did a tour around Amsterdam and the red light district. At this point of the tour, it was absolutely pouring down. We were getting very wet. We were stood outside. The tour guide was actually telling us about the locks here and how they close them if there is a chance of flooding. He also pointed out these plaques on the wall. I think this is where they got deliveries. There's a man with a barrel obviously on that side, and the city gates on the other. After the tour, we needed some refreshments and it had gone dark by that point. The tour was about 2 hours. It was really recommended. I really enjoyed it. The tour guide people were called Trigger Tours. We found them on TripAdvisor. Much recommended. I went here to this bar a couple of times during the trip. I had that chocomel. It was gorgeous. It had whipped cream on the top. It was so umptious. Then we actually cut now to the next day. The next morning, we're going down for breakfast. This hotel was actually over, it had a few buildings, so we had to, for breakfast, go down to level 2 and then across a bridge and then into another lift to go down for breakfast. However, if we were just going out, we could go right down to ground zero and you were straight out onto the street and you were right in the very centre of Amsterdam. So the location was really, really good. As we mooched down for breakfast this morning, it was actually breakfast in the cafe, as the Winter Garden, where you'd usually have your breakfast, was closed for an event. The Winter Garden is so beautiful. Last time we were in there, they had lots of palm trees. This time they just had a few normal trees, but it was still gorgeous. The smell down here as well in the main lobby area and the surrounding areas was really beautiful. It smelled amazing. They actually had scent machines pumping out a beautiful smell. And there was lots to look at. They have a gym down here as well, a smoking area, and this is where the main check-in desks are as well, just down this way. Haha, this is the scent machine. I really fancy one of those in my own house. They smell so good. I think you can get all different scents as well. I quite like a popcorn type smell would be good, wouldn't it? You'd be hungry all the time though. You'd end up eating all the time. With some fresh water with fruits in. They replaced with different fruits every day. Sometimes it was like mango and pineapple. Other days grapefruit. Beautiful area, this area. However, a lot of red and black going on. A lot of red leather and black. Here's the check-in desks and the information desks just here. very weird combination for me. I have some very unusual combinations, which got more unusual as the days went on. I had a tea, some cheese, some bread, some feta cheese, some mackerel, a bit of lemon. Not that weird today, actually. I'm building up to the oddness. Paul with his beautiful latte there. So we got some pastries. I've got a couple of pastries, a donut. They had a really good selection, which I have shown once on day 2 in the winter garden. Got some fruit and yogurt, some buttered rolls there, some more fresh fruits, and Paul did get a cooked breakfast, which he said was very nice.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, grow hard about what you
The rain has stopped. It was gorgeous this morning. We woke up, we came out for a walk around, and how beautiful. Look at the blue skies.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. 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 Today's gonna be a good day.
There were little crowns on the top of the lamppost.
Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. 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 Today's gonna be a good day. So life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good.
Today we've woken up, we've had our breakfast, we've been for a coffee, done a bit of people watching. Now we're going to go for a massage. This is really nice. And we are going to go out in some more bars tonight. Hi, so this is our room. I loved some of this artwork. I'd like some of this in my house. A reflection of the buildings of Amsterdam. As you can see, we have a balcony. This is our bathroom. Shower, really, really big shower. We actually have our coats hanging up in here because yesterday we did a tour of the red light district and history, and it pelted down the whole time. Paul was absolutely drenched, as was I really, but at least I had an umbrella. It's a beautiful bathroom. Sink, double sink, towels underneath there. Got a weigh scale down there if you need that on your holidays. Okay, so storages. So we've got tea and coffee making facilities. Get free water. So we drank that water yesterday and it has been replenished today. In this little container here, you get stroopwafel. So if you've been to Holland before, they do stroopwafels in the Netherlands. And they are 2 little waffles sandwiched with a caramel in the middle. And what you should do is when you have your brew, make your brew nice and hot. It's only a small cup, this one, and then you would warm your stroopwafel on top and it will get all sticky and gooey, the caramel inside, and then you can eat it. Delicious. I've had many stroopwafels now over the years. The coffee machine is a pod one, so all the pods and the teas and everything in here. You do only get a couple of milks. And then we've got some glasses and a mini bar. We've actually put that can of cola in there, but everything else is paid for. There was 2 bars of Tony's Chocolonely in the minibar. We ate those. I absolutely love Tony's chocolate. So, and there is a Tony's chocolate cafe here as well. So I've actually bought another really big bar as well today. Absolutely love it. This one's a little bit like Toblerone as well, the yellow one. We've got a wardrobe with a safe. All our gear is underneath in the case. And more wardrobe space. Got some robes up there. There is a spa in the hotel, so you can use that. And I would presume you'd use your spa, you'd use your robe and slippers to go down in. Now, this room has positives and negatives for sure. So I have to say, it's not somewhere I'd probably pick to stay again, not in this room. Positive, really quiet, nice and quiet. It's on a nice corridor that is detached from the main hotel, so very nice and quiet. Got 2 beds. Now, it's not a double bed, which is a bit of a weird thing. So you're in your own little bed at night because you're very well tucked in with the sheets. As you can see, there's quite a lot of scuff marks. Can you see? Which is one of the things. I mean, above the bed there. Nice big TV. Door to an adjoining room, I think, if you've paid for an additional room. A lot of the furniture and things just feels like it just needs a bit of a refurb. It's all sort of on its last legs, I think. Beautiful art, love that. I'd like to have that in my house. And then, so we've got lighting at either side of the bed, telephone, notepad. We have been round for breakfast this morning. It wasn't in the usual area. One of the big draws of this hotel is they have a beautiful winter garden where you have your breakfast, but they are having an event in there today, so it will be in there tomorrow. I'll show you that tomorrow. So we have a balcony, which is probably why we paid a little bit extra, but I'm not keen on this. What the heck is this? And I can't actually see over the top of this. This is my view, so it's just tops of buildings really. But I'll put you over, look. You see to the street below, which is what I thought we would have the view of and be able to people watch. But I'm on my tiptoes here, so not on this trip. However, it is absolutely stunning day today and we'll be able to sit out on there. I think there's 2 turn down services a day. So if they don't get you on the first one, they'll get you on the second one, which is really, really good. So our beds have been made, and I'll just quickly show you this. The cards for the room are in like a bamboo, which is quite quirky. And you can have a do not disturb light. So good afternoon. So that actually turns on. I don't think you can quite see, but that light turns on when you want do not disturb. So after this, we made our way over to Rust, which is where we had our duo massages. They were really good. I'd say it's one of the best massages I've ever had. It was a 2-hour long massage and I felt super relaxed afterwards. So last minute we decided to head over to Boom Chicago, where they do an improvised comedy show most nights. We've been lots of times before. It is always a really good night out. So we were heading over, walking over there. However, these people in that boat were getting attacked by a swan. Their engine had run out. I actually stopped filming because I felt really bad for them, and I was like, I think somebody needs to get some help. They were Paul's having a good laugh about that, but I felt sad for them because their engine, and then that swan kept like coming up and trying to peck them. Oh, they were having a bad time of it. Anyway, we were heading over to Boom Chicago. We got some chips. They were really good. We got some mayonnaise and some cheese sauce on those chips. They were mouth-wateringly delicious. This lady, I think, had been to an event. She looked phenomenal. She was all in pink. Everything pink. She looked great. We set off over there. It started to go dark. We went in Boom Chicago. Their show for the night that we went, which was the Thursday night, was Into the Metaverse. And we really, really enjoyed it. It was one of my favourite shows that I've been to there, actually. Highly recommended if you're going to Amsterdam. Check out Boom Chicago. Really, really good. And back to the people in the boat. They've managed to get their oar now. They're trying to get to the side. The swan, thankfully, has left them alone. Oh dear. Oh no. That big boat. I was thinking, I hope that big boat helps them.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome to Amsterdam.
How's your day been going?
Oh, it's been going really
That's
good.
wonderful.
We've had lots of good food, lots of chips.
Oh no, too many chips.
Too many chips.
Too many chips. The mayonnaise were a bit sickly, but we managed.
Cheese sauce were good.
We're on our way to Boom Chicago now.
Yes. Been before, really good.
We'll see how we get on. We'll get a drink.
With John Lennon picture in here as well. Can you see John Lennon?
We've arrived.
Okay, so we're just going to head down to breakfast. It should be in the Winter Garden today, so I'll show you that. I'll show you the buffet. We are going to the Moco Museum, I think, today. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's M-O-C-O. How else can you pronounce that? So we're going to go to the Moco Museum this morning. Moco, yeah, maybe. Okay, so after we left Boom Chicago, we just went for one drink and then we headed home back to the hotel. And this is the next day. I should make a note to finish off at the end of the day, I think, and put a little bit on camera. So there is a nice smooth transition. But we are now just heading down to the Winter Garden, where the breakfast is served, and I will show you all the beautiful things they had. Wow, this breakfast was the bomb. It was so good. If you like cake for breakfast, this is the place for you. They had cheesecake, coffee and walnut cake, donuts, jam donuts, iced donuts, muffins, pancakes, waffles. They had a lot of things. Look at all those jams. So many jams. They all had cool names as well. Like, I don't know, I can't remember now, like Barbara Bilberry or something like that. This cheese was my best friend, that Stilton. I ate a lot of that Stilton. It was very delicious. I had a lot of Stilton with honey. Lots of cold meats, anything you could imagine. So many different breads, sweet breads, savoury breads, baked croissants, Some more like sweet cakes there. I actually had to double take. I thought, my goodness me, look at that honeycomb. Laurie would love that. He has a thing about honeycomb, he loves it. So we went all the way around. Then we've got some pancakes. We actually have some apple crumble just to the left there. And then we go into the hot breakfast. So some roasted tomatoes. And then all these things were bacon and sausage and scrambled eggs. We also had some boiled eggs there. And they had an omelette making station and a poached egg station, where they could make you a poached egg or a omelette of your choice, different toppings. I had lots of cheeses, honey, bread for my delicious breakfast this morning, as well as a lot of sweet things as well. I think I had quite a few pastries. As you can see, this room is stunningly beautiful. So after we'd had that big breakfast, we did chill out in the room for a couple of hours, and then we headed down and we were going to walk over to the Mocco Museum, which was about a 25-minute walk. Before we headed off, we grabbed a coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. I got a salted caramel cold brew. It was lovely, and Paul's got a latte, which you can see there. Careful, it's going to run into you. Don't touch it, it will fall. Oh. Over at this side is the Rijksmuseum, really worth a trip. We have done it before, so we didn't do it on this time, but the same person, the same architect, designed the Rijksmuseum and designed the station, so I think they're supposed to be like a mirror image of each other. And this is where we're headed, the Mocco Museum. So after mooching around the Moko Museum, we still weren't hungry after our massive breakfast. We went to the Aram pub, which we just got a drink in, had a sit down, and then we walked over to the town centre where all the shops were, and we went in the Lego store. So then we were getting hungry after we'd been shopping, so we went to Pizzeria Steakhouse Amsterdam, I think it's called, on Dam Street. I had pasta, Paul had kebab and chips. My pasta tortellini was really good. It was stuffed with cheese, I think, and so delicious. Then we sat at a cafe that we absolutely love. We love this cafe. We sit here every time, and well, it's like a bar really. Paul got a JD and Coke, I think, and I'm on Amstel Radler there, 0%. And it's really good for people watching. There's loads to see around there, and there are the red light windows across the street, if you can see that. However, there was no one working in them at the moment, hence why we were allowed to film. So now we've moved over to a bar, Emmalot it was called. We went here a couple of times. There were beautiful heaters on us here, and you could people watch, and I got another Chocomel. Yes, for Chocomel. Hooray for Chocomel. This bar that we went to afterwards as well had some really funky, like, Dutch music, like sort of like swinging your tankards about type music. It was pretty good. And with all that great atmosphere in this bar and all that cool Dutch music, that was the end of our trip. That was our last night in Amsterdam. Bye bye Amsterdam. What do you think? Have you had a good time?
I have. Have you?
Yeah, it's been great. Really good. These you being when you go back to real life and go back to what you miss each other. Well, I miss you. Yeah, I really miss you. That's what I'm saying. Oh, we've had such a good time. Hi guys. So this is our last morning now. We've had a fantastic breakfast at the Winter Garden. And then we've come up now. We are going to pack the last of our bits up. We've got a couple of bits for the boys. Been to the Lego store. And we went to an underpants store. I went to a sweet store. This morning's breakfast, every day I've had honey off the honeycomb. It's really, really nice. I've had that with some blue cheese. What a good breakfast. I had that this morning. I didn't have an extra ham for another plate, so I put that on with my custard and my apple crumble. Our plane's taking off at, I think it's 4:20 over here, and we land at just about 4:30 over in England, because there's a 1 hour time difference. And then I can't wait to see my boys. I am missing them. My heart hurts. I miss them so much, but I will be seeing them soon. And that big beautiful puppa. So I will see you probably in the next vlog now. Bye bye.